Good afternoon. Today is Monday, the 28th. We're going to take a look at a few charts. We're going to go over ORMP, IWM, NEO, Xpev, Wkhs, Solo, Plug, and Tesla. First thing is first, this is Patrick and you're trading with Prime. If you guys would like, check us out, rtbtrading.com. Go to the website, free 1 week trial. First thing I want to look at is IWM. We were talking about this on stream yesterday. We talked about the psychological resistance area around $200. And we had some trend lines drawn in here. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of zoom in a little bit on this most recent price action. And as you can, obviously we're in a definite uptrend, so we have to be really careful when taking these shorts. What we're looking for is a reversal candle, and this over here, I forget the date back here. This was the 11-9 reversal candle. And so it worked out for a little bit. It made a bear flag, but then it ended up playing out to the upside, which is why you had this kind of run up and then a little bit of a short squeeze. And then it made a bull flag and then played that out. And it's been bull flagging ever since. So one of two things is happening right now. Right now, the market is possibly going to start to roll over from here. And if it does, it could always rally back up here to the highs around 201.18. It could even take out the highs, to be honest with you at this point. I would not be surprised. IWM has been on this uptrend for quite a while now. And so as far as, jumping in front of the bus, is this something we would want to is this kind of a market that we want to take on to the short side? Excuse me. So with that said though, looking at the $200 psychological resistance area, it looks like it's working so far. We had a pretty bearish day today. We've almost took out last trading day's candle. So what we would like to see from here from the bears is lower prices possibly break. If it can break this trend line, I think you'd start to see a lot more profit taking / selling. But if it holds this uptrend, I would expect more buying. If I go down to the intraday time frames, you can kind of see why it was more of an engulfing. You can kind of see the engulfing type pattern. Here's the uptrend. It's pretty significant. And so today we gapped higher in the morning. Pretty much since the open, we've been profit taking all day long. We are coming into the end of the year, so I would not be surprised if we did take out this trend line. But we do have to be mindful of we can't take trades based on. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I don't personally believe in taking trades based on what we think the market is going to do certain times throughout the year. So there's probably going to be less volume going into the end of the year. You might see a lot of shifting from stocks to bonds. So we'll see what happens. But definitely if you're in this trade, maybe lower your stop loss. If you're in a short trade here, lower your stop loss down to 199.64 area. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to go through a few of them. I've had a couple of things today. There's actually a few people today that asked me something pretty specific, so I thought it was interesting. I thought I would share it with you guys. And the question pertained to how do I handle, if I'm in a losing trade, or if I'm just not having a good day or a good week, how do I handle that in my trading? And so all three people, I basically said that if I'm having a really bad day, I'll usually I'll shut it down. I'll turn off trading. I'm done with it because I don't want to revenge trade, and we all know, or a lot of us will know what that is. I don't want to start entering trades because F this market, I know what I'm doing, and this market is wrong. There's no reason why the price should be where it's at. So I'm gonna keep doubling down, and that's very risky because the market can stay wrong for a very long time. So it's best to just shut it down and reevaluate the situation later. And then I told all three people, if you can learn something out of it, if you can go back and see where you went wrong, if you can learn a lesson, if there's a lesson to be learned, I think you'll get your money's worth, right? So if you are down however much money and you learn why it is that you're down today, if you can learn from that, I think that is money well spent. Okay, I'll leave that off. I'll leave that for now. So What we're looking at next is ORMP. Somebody sent this to me yesterday, so I'm going to just go through it really quick. I like this price action on the last several weeks. If I put it on the weekly time frame, it's very bullish. Right now it found resistance at the 200-week moving average. Oops, let's do this. Oh, I messed it all up. It found some resistance right here. Here's the 200-week moving average. It's bull flagging on the weekly time frame. It might need a little bit more time. So what I would like to see is you could draw some sort of pattern in here. It looks like it's squeezing up here. I would like to see these moving averages start to head up here. Maybe it'll consolidate for another week or two. Maybe it'll eventually break out, but this is definitely a bullish pattern. It's bullish consolidation. So we'll see what actually happens. If I go back down to the daily time frame and take a look once again, daily chart looks phenomenal. It's, you know, trader's choice. It's up 124 to the highs up here. We're on a drawdown so far. It had a drawdown of 35%, which provided a good entry. Plus it was at support down here around 346. And so far from that first drawdown, it's put in a higher low on the daily time frame, and we're working on another breakout. If it can get above and stay above $4.62, I think it'll have a shot of the all-time, or not all-time highs. It'll have a shot of this most recent pivot high up here around 557. That is a little ways away. I mean, that's still 24% away, 25% away. What I personally want to enter long, like I was saying, I would like to personally see a little bit more consolidation here. Maybe if it can consolidate a little bit more, put in a, you know, do something like that, put in another higher low, I would definitely be looking to take this to the long side. Would I be a seller? I don't think so. I think I would hold on to this and see what happens. Let's look at NEO. A few people asked me to look at NEO. I know we looked at this on stream yesterday, but I want to just go over it one more time because I talked about this on stream yesterday that I'm willing to go long against the high or against the low of this candle back here, and I'll go ahead and put I apologize about moving the screen around all this so much here, but so you do see this price action back here where you see this candle right here. I'm looking for price to definitely stay above this area, and we can call this in the zone around $39.60, 39. Well, we could say $38.75 all the way up to $40, say. Well, I want price to stay above $40. By the looks of it, because we close, I'm going to highlight another candle here, and I'll do this one in blue. This candle right here, I wanted price to stay above the low of this candle, and there's a specific reason why is if it closes the day below that low of this breakout candle, you know, you can see where if you go back several days here, you can see where price was having a hard time getting through this blue zone. This blue zone that I just highlighted, it actually did break out for a day and then it pulled back. To me, it's more bearish when you have a failed breakout, and this is what's called a failed breakout. It broke out for a day and then it came back down into the trading range. To me, that's more bearish than it is bullish. However, NEO has been on this pretty relentless uptrend from the March lows, pretty significant. And so what I'm personally looking for is we did go long back here. We closed the position after a few days. I don't know where we closed it at, but I'm looking for price to stay above this area. Today we closed. It was pretty apparent throughout the day that we're going to trade back below that price area. And the price area that I was kind of calling for, the low is 45.02. I wanted price to stay above that. Well, it didn't do that. Now, don't get me wrong. Tomorrow we could wake up and price could be, you know, gap higher in the morning and then take off. We do see that a lot of the times. Most cases, though, under normal circumstances, because we closed the day below this area, in my opinion, I think that there will be a little bit lower prices. It doesn't mean we're going to come all the way back down to 40. There's a lot of gaps in here that the traders might be eyeing. I don't know if it's going to be this gap around 41.23 or if it's going to be the most, you know, maybe it was today's low around 43.65. So that's to be, you know, we'll see what happens, I guess, in the next couple days. I do want to take a long trade. You see this, how it's been on this incredible uptrend, and now we're kind of stalling out here. And you know, anything is possible. I am more looking for the long side. I'm definitely willing to take a short trade if we get below $40 price area. In fact, if we get all the way back down to 40 within the next couple days, I'm not sure that it'll stop there, but that is an area that you can lean into. If we get below that $40 price area, I would definitely be willing to take a short trade because I'd be eyeing this 29, let's call it $30 price area. The next one I want to look at is Xpev. And by the way, NEO day is coming up, so for all of those of you who are in a short trade right now, be very cautious because you can see this chart take off. Let's go look at Xpev. I want to look at a few of this electronic vehicles. And the thing is I'm noticing this trend in the EV market. I've been saying this for a little while now, that I believe that the EV market has kind of seen, it was kind of like what cannabis did in 2018, where you saw this incredible rally, like even this, the name, you know, this company, 258%. And so far we're on a drawdown of 50%. So they're really putting pain on people who had bought in this price area, anywhere between $36 and all the way up to $75. They're really hurting right now. If we get below this candle right here, and I'll highlight it for you, if we get below this price area right here, I would expect the sellers to really pick up pace, and we could see a lot of, you know, a pretty hefty move to the downside if we get below this price. And I'll give you the price. It's $35.60. So be very cautious taking these long trades. I would want to see a little bit more of evidence that it's gonna, you know, that the buyers are showing up. Let's look at, I'll run through the rest pretty fast here. Workhorse, I just wanted to kind of give a viewpoint of the EV. So Workhorse, same kind of thing, where you saw this incredible rally. We've been consolidating ever since, and you could just do something like this. It doesn't really matter. We're consolidating. Yeah, it's made a high of, you know, $31. Pulling back here, it's definitely remaining above. If it can stay above the 200 period moving average, around $16.17. But today was a very bearish close. If we do break below this most recent pattern, and I'm gonna just kind of zoom in a little bit more. If we break below this pattern right here, so it really needs to stay above this candle. If we break below this, I would be eyeing something down here in this range. We'll see what happens over the next couple days. It could find support around here, around 19 bucks, maybe even $20.20. But if we take out this most recent most recent breakout candle, and this is the one I'm talking about, again, it's one of those scenarios where you had a bull flag in here from this point back here. You had kind of a bull flag in here if you were to do one of these. Here's your little bull flag. Here's the flagpole. It did kind of reach its target, but I would expect after this many days of consolidation, you would want to see a price movement of all the way back up to here, and it didn't do that. It kind of broke out and then failed. So we'll see. To me, this pattern, because we're already back down here after breaking out, it's a little bit more bearish than it is bullish. I'm not even gonna go look at NKLA or Nikola. I won't even look at that one. You all know how that one's going. Let's go to Solo. And some people wouldn't categorize all these as EV, but I'm just kind of running through them a little bit. So same thing, really bearish close today. And I don't know, maybe the sector, there's some sort of, you know, I have no idea. Maybe there's some sort of news that I don't know about, but it doesn't really matter. They're all doing the same thing. I'm more of a technical trader anyway. This is still kind of a bull flag. So what I'd be looking to go long in this one now is I would look for some sort of breakout on volume, something that was a little bit more firm than just a little pop up here, because it could just pop up and then pull right back down. I'm personally looking for something to get above this horizontal price resistance, and let's call this around $7.66. And again, I would love to take it. I'll definitely take a short trade if we get below $6. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at plug. And again, some people might not, you know, maybe this is EV, maybe it's not, but pretty bearish dated, I would have to say today. Pretty bearish close, but we also have to keep in mind where we are. Technically speaking on the chart, there's nothing wrong with this. We're definitely in an uptrend. It could pull all the way down here to 24.75 and still be bullish on this chart. And yeah, we would probably be below the 20-day moving average, but it would still definitely be bullish in an uptrend. It's making higher highs, higher lows. There's nothing wrong with this. Would I want to go long here? Absolutely not. I would definitely not want to go long here. Let's go look at the weekly time frame. So as you can see from well, here's 2018. Here's the March lows right here. I'm going to do pull up. So we're up 1,409%. So to be honest with you, I'm not. I mean, this is way too high up on the chart for my kind of trading. But as far as swing trading goes, because one morning we're going to wake up and this chart is going to be really, really ugly. So we have to be careful. If you're in a long trade though, I don't see anything wrong with holding on to this until you actually see a weekly reversal candle, which we haven't seen yet. So, and then as far as the daily, yeah, this is technically a daily reversal candle. So be careful of that. Last one, Tesla. And Tesla, so this is a trader's choice. Some people love it, some people hate it. And again, I'm putting this in the same category. We see a high over here First, it made this high of 653. It pulled back and then ran all the way up here to 695. And this is what we were talking about. It had a failed breakout. It broke out and then it failed. Well, now it put in another low here and then it rallied back above, and we're resting right on that failed breakout point. So this is a point where it could go either way. I think traders can definitely be short against this price because of how much it got rejected from this price area. I think that traders can definitely look to, maybe this was the retracement of this initial pullback right here, or this rejection from this price area 695. I think traders could definitely be short in this area, eyeing down here to the 619 price area again. But keep in mind your stop loss, maybe keep a really tight stop. You could see this also trade up above the 695 area, and it could then sell right back off down here back below the 695 area, and you could still remain in the trade if you're a swing trader. Just be very careful. We know it's very expensive to buy Tesla puts if you're not in a spread. If you're just looking at buying naked puts, you just got to be careful of how much money you're willing to spend and how much you're willing to risk. But this is definitely an optimal area to look for a short trade, in my opinion. I don't see much more upside in Tesla. I think it's running out of steam here. You can see it's kind of slowing down. This type of consolidation is a lot different than the previous types of charts we've seen in Tesla. Remember how like the last several ones you saw, well, this whole back here, this was the pre-COVID. This is the COVID dump right here. And then you have the lows in March. And so each consolidation, you see it go up, it kind of consolidates. It makes some sort of flag pattern. It runs up again. It consolidates. And this consolidation actually lasted for a little while. And then it just kind of rode this 20-period moving average. Once it broke out of this bull flag consolidation, or maybe it was a bullish wedge, whatever you want to call it, it rallied up here. In each one, you see this triangle pattern, right? And it runs up again. And then this one was a lot more severe of a triangle pattern, but you do see a triangle pattern in there. It broke out from that triangle pattern. And if you wanted to do a measurement, you can measure this area right here I'm highlighting. You could do a measurement from there. You could do the same measurement that goes up to here. I don't see $1,000 in Tesla. Although it's possible, we could call this price action right here. We could say this is another bull flag. But I think this is more, it's becoming to look more and more like a wedge pattern than it is an actual pullback, as far as, seeing an actual pullback like this type of consolidation. Anything is possible. With that said, I'm not so sure that, like I said, if you're going to be in a short trade, maybe keep it a tight stop, and just keep in mind this could go to 1,000. It's absolutely possible. I don't think it's going to, but it's at this point, but it is definitely possible, and I would not be surprised. So just be very careful. If you are long, there's no reason. If I go to the weekly time frame, and from the March lows, Tesla is up 864%. So it would be also not surprising to wake up one day and Tesla be down 30% or 20%. It's going to happen. One day will come and it'll be down. It's just more of a, are you willing to sit here and try to short it the whole way up kind of thing? And I'm not really willing to do that. So definitely on the weekly time frame, there is no weekly reversal candle. And as long as price remains above for starters, if it stays above $600, and then to be honest with you, you could come all the way back down to $430.80 and still be bullish on the weekly time frame. So keep that in mind. That pretty much wraps it up for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions, and like the video if you've gained value. Thanks, guys.